It was a regular Tuesday afternoon. Nothing special, nothing unusual. Just a kitchen, a teen, and a spoon. The spoon slipped, hit the floor, and in that completely ordinary, forgettable, meaningless moment, one word came out. Bruh. Silence. Mom was standing at the stove. She didn't turn around immediately. She just stopped. The ladle stopped stirring. She turned, slowly, like she heard something she wasn't supposed to hear. She looked at the teen, then at the spoon on the floor, then back at the teen. Who is bruh? Now here's something you need to understand about Indian moms. They don't panic immediately. They don't shout. They don't cry. They don't call a family meeting on the spot. They investigate, quietly, patiently, methodically, like a detective who has decided not to reveal anything until she has all the evidence. Later that evening, Mom walked into the teen's room. No knock. Door just opened. She sat down on the edge of the bed with the calm energy of someone who had been thinking about this for hours. Hands folded, back straight, eye contact locked. We need to talk. The teen looked up from the phone. Nothing on the face. No idea what was coming. What happened? You keep mentioning this, bruh. What? Don't. What me? I have heard this name 3 times this week. Who is he? Mom, bruh isn't a... Is he from college? From that group chat? Because I saw you texting at 11 p.m. and I didn't say anything, but now I'm saying something. Mom, it's not a person. Then explain clearly. Who is bruh? The teen took a long breath. Okay, so Bruhh means don't. Call me bruh. I wasn't. This conversation is over. And it was. But here's what happened after that conversation ended. Mom sat down at the family laptop, opened Google, and typed, slowly, carefully, making sure she spelled it right. Who is Bruhh? The results came back. Urban Dictionary, Reddit threads, a YouTube compilation called Top 50 Bruhh Moments, a Wikipedia article that started with the words, Bruhh is an internet slang term derived from... She clicked Wikipedia, read 3 lines, closed the tab, sat quietly for 40 seconds, opened a new tab, typed, is bruh a bad word? New results, more confusion. She found a forum where someone asked the exact same question and someone replied, Bro, just say bruh. It's not that deep. She did not find this helpful. She closed the laptop. The investigation had only just begun. Over the next 3 days, Mom started noticing things she had never noticed before. The teen texting someone, bruh, this is actually so boring. A YouTube comment on a cooking video, of all places. Bruh, who asked? An Instagram caption. Bro, I literally cannot. She noted all of it, mentally, carefully. But then came the moment that changed everything. She was passing by, not snooping, just passing by. She wants you to know that. And she saw a message on the teen's phone that said, I'm dead, bruh, with a skull emoji. She called Dad into the room immediately, read this. Dad read it, looked up, read it again. Who died? Exactly. Now there were 2 of them. Dad put on his serious face, the one he uses for important decisions, the one that meant he had fully joined the investigation. We need to get to the bottom of this. By the end of the week, Mom had a piece of paper, on the back of a grocery list, words written in a column, lines drawn between them, circles around the ones that felt connected. Bruh, bro, no cap, low-key, cooked, giving, slay, fire, dead. She stepped back and looked at it. This goes deeper than I thought. Dad stood next to her, studied the paper with complete seriousness. Much deeper. Now pause for a second, because this might look funny from the outside. But let's be honest about what's actually happening here. These are 2 people who learned language when language had rules. When words had one meaning and stuck to it. When cool meant temperature. When dead meant gone. When fire meant call someone. And now their child is saying the dal was fire, the morning is giving. Someone named Bruhh keeps appearing in every conversation. And apparently someone is dead but also completely fine and laughing about it. Of course they built a conspiracy wall. Any reasonable person would. Now here's where most parents would stop. Accept that they don't understand. Decide it doesn't matter. move on with their lives. But not these two. These two made a decision, a joint decision, a household decision, a decision that would affect everyone under this roof. We become modern. It began the next morning. Breakfast table, chai on the stove, paranthus on the plate, teens sitting down, phone in hand, completely unsuspecting. Mom walked in, set the chai down, stood up straight, looked directly at the teen with complete composure. Good morning. Bruh. Pause. The teen looked up from the phone, looked at Mom, looked back at the phone, looked at Mom again. What? I said good morning. Bruh. Mom, please. Is that not how you use it? Before the teen could answer, Dad walked in, sat down, picked up a parantha, took a bite, looked thoughtfully at his plate. Breakfast is low-key fire. The teen set the phone face down on the table. This was going to be a long morning. Dad. No cap, said Dad, nodding slowly. Stop. Mom looked out the window casually. Today's weather is giving. The teen's voice went slightly higher. Giving what? Giving what? Mom, you have to finish the sentence. Just giving, said Mom calmly. That's how it works. Dad straightened up, adjusted his collar, made direct eye contact across the table. Sigma behavior, he said quietly. The teens stared at both of them. Neither parent blinked. This continued for 3 days. Every meal, every car ride, every goodbye at the door. Mom using no cap during a completely serious conversation about which vegetables to buy. Dad describing the evening traffic as a Bruhh moment. Mom sending a WhatsApp message to the teen that said, Beta, did you eat? This homework giving me skull emoji. Dad attempting to say something was bussin' about a mango chutney, getting it approximately right, being deeply proud of himself. The teen was unraveling, not because the words were wrong exactly, but because they were so close to right while being completely off. Like watching someone wear a formal suit to a cricket match. Technically clothing. Deeply incorrect. And here's the thing. That feeling of watching someone use your language slightly wrong is exactly how every generation feels when the next one shows up with new words. But the teen didn't know that yet. It happened on a Tuesday. Dad was eating lunch, looking at a mango on his plate with quiet admiration. He looked up. This mango is low-key bussin' no cap. Something snapped. Okay, stop. Both of you. Just stop. Parents froze. Spoons in midair. Bruh's not a person. There is no person named Bruh. It is not a gang. It is not a secret code. It is not something you needed to investigate for an entire week. It is just a word. Silence. It's just a sound that you make when something happens and you have no other response. That's all it is. That's the whole thing. There is nothing deeper. Silence. Mom and Dad looked at each other. Then Dad put his spoon down. Quietly. Carefully. Like, Ari Yar? The teen stopped. What? When I was your age, something would go wrong. I'd spill something, miss a bus, lose a match, and I'd just say, Ari Yar. That's it. Nothing else. It didn't mean anything specific. It was just the sound of the moment. Mom nodded slowly, and my mother said hi Ram for everything. Happy, sad, shocked, exhausted, when the milk boiled over, when the neighbor's dog barked too early. Hi Ram, one phrase, every emotion. Dad looked at the teen. Every generation makes their own bruh. Nobody spoke. The teen looked at the conspiracy wall on the kitchen counter, at the grocery list with all the circled words, at two parents who had spent a full week trying to understand something, not because they were confused, but because they were trying. And for the first time in this entire episode, the teen smiled. Your generation's bruh was RER. Still is, said Dad. No cap, said Mom. Dad looked at her. Don't push it. That night, Mom stood at the teen's door. Standard goodnight routine. Everything normal. Goodnight, Beta. She turned to leave, stopped, turned back one more time. Goodnight up, bruh. The teen looked up from the bed. Mom, too much? A pause. It was okay. Mom smiled, turned off the hallway light, walked toward her room, called back, without turning around, in a voice just loud enough to carry down the hall. Loki slept. The teen stared at the ceiling. That's not how you use that. But the smile didn't go away. 2:17 a.m. The house is completely dark and silent. Dad is in bed, one lamp on, phone screen glowing in the darkness. He is typing, slowly, one finger, very focused. What is aura farming? He reads the results. His expression does not change. He scrolls down, types again. How to increase aura. Reads, scrolls, types one more time. Am I Sigma? He puts the phone down on his chest, stares at the ceiling, considers this deeply, to be continued.